Montessori Grandma. Episode 42. Botany Part 3. Physiology of plants. Needs of plants. Function of roots and stem.
The Physiology of Plants. Botany Part 3. Needs of plants. Functions of roots and stem. A Montessori lesson retold and presented by Geeta Vijayachandran. The Physiology of Plants. Montessori made many impressionistic charts that show the physiology of plants. Although the children have already worked with plants and parts, this lesson sparks their interest. The charts are divided according to the function of parts and are shown when relevant parts are taught. Plants and their importance. Plants are living organisms that produce food for themselves. They act as a primary source of nutrition for all life forms on earth. Plants are also the only source of oxygen in nature. The study of plant physiology includes the external and internal functions of plants. The material in this set of charts is an introduction to what Maria Montessori believed children should know regarding the way plants work. Using impressionistic charts, children can understand how plants function and how they are connected to all other living organisms on this planet. When to present the charts? The botany impressionistic charts are used in the elementary class after children have been introduced to the great stories, know the parts of plants, and have done the first knowledge of the plant kingdom. They should have done a study of plants in the timeline of life, and they may have been introduced to the first classification of plants chart. This is because we take two ways. You can either do first classification at this stage, or you can continue with the physiology of plants. The purpose of the botany impressionistic charts is to help children learn about the needs of plants and their functions while sparking their imagination with stunning graphics, fascinating short stories, and easy experiments. The stories are read together using the large impressionistic charts, which leave great impressions on children. Experiments are conducted along with stories and are left at the children's disposal on the shelf when appropriate. These beautiful illustrations are drawn by hand. Let us look at what we know already. We know that plants have two systems, the root system and the shoot system. We also know a plant body consists of three parts mainly, that is the root, stems, and leaves, each having specialized functions. Apart from these three basic parts, a flowering plant can also contain flowers, fruits, and seeds. Let us look at the root system and the shoot system. The root system covers the underground part of a plant, which includes the roots, tubers, and rhizomes. The shoot system consists of parts found above the ground, such as leaves, stems, flowers, and fruits. We had looked at the parts of leaves, stem, and roots. Remember, we looked at the first knowledge of plants. Here we had looked at 32 plants belonging to the different groups. We learned their names and heard their stories. We then answered all the questions regarding each plant. This is just to remind you of the 32 plants that were used in the first knowledge of plant kingdom. Now, let us look at the basic needs of a plant. Plants need soil, sunlight, air, and water. Plants grow towards light. Plants need minerals that are in the soil. Plants need carbon dioxide present in the air. Experiments to show needs of plants. Experiment 1. Plants need light, heat, and water. Materials needed are 4 small bowls, cotton balls, seeds that can be mustard or cress, spoon, water, 3 blank labels, and a pencil. Put cotton in 4 bowls to fill the bottom. Use a spoon and sprinkle the same quantity of seeds on the cotton in the 4 bowls. Erase the bowls and label them. Leave 1 bowl as it is and label no water. Keep the next bowl in a dark place after adding water. Label no light. Add water to the third bowl and keep in the refrigerator. Label no heat. In the fourth bowl, add water and keep it in a place where it gets light and heat. No label is needed for this. Record the results of the 4 dishes daily. Put date and title on bottle label. What do we see? The dish kept in the refrigerator and the one with no water did not sprout. The plants that sprouted were the ones kept in the dark and in the one which got water, light and heat. The one kept in light had darker and greener leaves. This shows plants need light, heat and water to grow. Experiment 2. Plants grow towards light. Materials needed are a plate with soil into which mustard has been put, water, a box with a lid which can hold the plate, and a pair of scissors to cut the box end. Water the seeds in the plate and keep it in the box and close the lid. Leave the seeds to germinate. When the plants are 1 inch high, cut open one of the shorter sides of the box. Place the open side facing light. Check the plants in a few hours or next day. We will see they have moved towards light. Next, we can open the other side of the box. Watch what happens after a few hours. We can see some plants have grown towards that light. Plants also need the following things to grow. They need carbon dioxide that is present in the air, iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, chloride, nitrate, sulfate, phosphate, water and sunlight. Please note, soil contains all these minerals. This is the start of chemistry. Let us do another experiment to show, do plants need minerals? This is done with older children. The materials needed are 6 identical bottles, 6 paper discs which can hold the plant in the bottle, 6 plants with roots developed, 6 bottles with the solutions nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium and magnesium with labels on them. And here I have 5 minerals that the plants like. So I will mix half a tablespoon of each into each bottle of water. Place the plant in each bottle with a solution using the paper discs. In the 6th bottle, add all the minerals. Label the bottles with the minerals it contains. We can see that the plant in the 6th bottle grew the best. This shows plants need minerals to grow well. This is a chart about the nitrogen cycle. The nitrogen cycle shows how everything is connected. It explains how nitrogen helps plant and animals grow. What is nitrogen cycle? Nitrogen cycle is a biogeochemical process through which nitrogen is converted into many forms, consecutively passing from the atmosphere to the soil, to the organisms and back into the atmosphere. Nitrogen is a key nutrient element for plants. However, the abundant nitrogen in the atmosphere cannot be used directly by plants or animals. First, nitrogen fixation turns nitrogen gas into ammonia, which plants can use. Then, nitrification changes ammonia into nitrites and then nitrates. Plants grow using nitrates. When animals eat these plants, they get nitrogen too. When plants and animals die, their bodies go back to the soil. Then, denitrifying bacteria turn nitrates back into nitrogen gas, ending the cycle. Why do plants need nitrogen? Plants need nitrogen as this element is an important component of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is vital for the process of photosynthesis. So lack of nitrogen can cause deficiency disorders such as stunted growth and other abnormalities. Let us look at each part in detail. Let us look at roots. Roots seek water. In vascular plants, the roots are the part of the plant that is underground. One of the main jobs of the roots is to bring water to the rest of the plant. For this, the roots of the plant move in the direction of water. Roots like to grow in the dark. Roots have root hairs that absorb water and mineral salts from the soil. The root hairs have tips that are the water collectors. The root caps protect the root tips when it bumps into any hard things while in the ground. Roots are very sensitive to water. It is as if they can smell it. Here's an experiment to show roots are water seekers. This is experiment 4. The materials needed are a transparent tray, sand, seeds and water. Place the seeds in one part of the tray. Water them till they grow to 1 inch height. Now water only the other half of the tray where there are no plants. Watch after a few days. We can see the roots have moved towards the water. This shows roots move towards water. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. The roots suck up water and this helps to drain the soil. The roots go around obstacles on the way to reach water. The root caps are like engineers making way for the roots, and if they meet a huge rock, they send out a special acid to dissolve it so they can reach water. Roots anchor the plant firmly to the soil and provide support. The roots are like stakes of a tent and they hold the tree in place. By doing this, they hold the soil in place so the soil does not get washed away. Experiment 5. Roots hold soil. Materials are tray with soil, mustard seeds and water. Show the mustard seeds and let them observe its size. Plant the seeds 1 inch apart and water them. Wait till they grow to 2 inch height. Dig up one plant and see how much soil a plant that came from a small seed can hold. Can you imagine how much soil all the plants in the world can hold? Some roots can store food for future use, while others can develop new plants from the roots of the old plant. This is called vegetative reproduction. There is a collaboration between leaves and roots. By looking at the leaves of a plant, we can determine what type of root the plant has. Some leaves seem to direct the water out to the tip of their leaves and down to the ground and roots. Some other leaves seem to direct them towards the stem and down. The leaf is arranged in such a way the water flows to the root. Some leaves direct water in different directions. Let's look at stems. The stem holds the plant so all parts get enough sunlight. If all the plants remain close to the ground, there would be overcrowding and lots of plants would die. Stems bring leaves up into the air towards sunlight, where they can spread out as much as possible. The stems have a tendency to grow upwards. Look at the stems of the plants we grew and some of the stems of the plants outside. The plants we grew have soft, green, herbaceous stems. The trees have thick, woody stems which last longer and grow bigger. Stems are really clever. The stems have 2 tubes in them that take water along with minerals to the leaves and from the leaves to the other parts of the plant. They are called xylem and phloem tubes. The functions of stems. Xylem carries water and minerals from the roots to the leaves, and there is only one way of movement. They are like siphons pumping up water. Phloem carries the food prepared by the leaves to the different parts of the plant, so there is two-way movement. We know water always flows downwards, but how does water move up in plants? Capillary action moves water up narrow tubes, such as xylem tubes in plants. Due to gravity, capillary action can only raise water to short distance up the xylem tubes in plants. Another process called transpiration pulls the water to the top of the xylem, where it moves into the cells of the leaves, stems, flowers, and other organs. It is like drinking water using a straw. Experiment 6. Water moves up through the stem. Materials are fresh celery stalk, glass of colored water. Put celery into the glass of colored water. We can see the color move up and reach the leaves. We can use white carnation flower also in place of the celery. Stems push the leaves towards light and also brings water to the leaves. The trees are also very clever. The tubes immediately inside the hard outer cover called the bark protects them from heat, cold, and even animals. Trees like oak, willow, and sycamore make a new set of tubes each year. These die, and next year another set of tube is made. These are the tree rings, and they tell the age of the tree. Where are the xylem and phloem tubes situated? The food pipes, that is phloem, are immediately inside the bark, and the water pipes, that is the xylem, are inside these pipes. The living tubes are on the edge, closest to the outside, and the ones that were made when the tree was young are in the center. The tubes in the center are dead, but are useful as it strengthens the tree so it can withstand all weather conditions. Stems provide strength and support to buds, flowers, leaves, and fruits. Some stems are not so strong and need to depend on others. They are called climbers and creepers. Some plants have thorns to protect them from enemies. Other functions of stems. Stems store food, mainly in the form of starch. They also develop new plants from the stem of the old plant, called vegetative reproduction. We have looked at needs of plants, functions of roots and stems. The video being too long, I made it into 3 parts. In the next videos, we will look at the functions of leaves and the functions of flowers, fruits, and seeds. That brings us to the end of Botany Part 3, Physiology of Plants. Thank you for watching. This is Geeta Vijaychandran signing off.
Montessori Grandma.